Allie, and today is November 27th, which means that this is the last week of NaNoWriMo, which also means that this is the last Wednesday writing vlog as far as NaNoWriMo is concerned. I did mention in my last video that I am probably going to be continuing these writing vlogs as long as you guys like them well into December until I've actually finished this draft of my book, because we all know that NaNoWriMo can end in a kind of writing slump, and if I keep myself accountable by continuing these weekly vlogs and posting twice a week, then I will have to kick myself in the butt to continue going. That being said, December is a pretty busy month, so I will do my best to keep it up after November and NaNoWriMo has already passed. So that being said, this is the final writing vlog for NaNoWriMo, and I have plenty of writing to get done. So as always in these videos, I'm going to take you back a little bit through the previous week and just kind of give you my word counts and stuff. This past week hasn't been anything too terribly crazy. The last time that we spoke in one of these writing vlog videos, I had just reached the recommended word count, total word count for that day, which was 31,673 words. Since then, my writing word count per day has kind of fluctuated a little bit, but let's just kind of go into the day by day. So after that Tuesday was Wednesday, and I got exactly 1,001 words in that day. There was nothing really special about that day, nothing really terrible about that day, other than that I had to edit and post the video that I'd filmed on Tuesday, and so I just got a little bit less time to write in my entire day, but I got 1,000 words in. That Thursday was pretty productive. I got 2,613 words in on that day. I can't remember anything particular that was really awesome about that day or anything that was particularly negative about that day. Just know that that is how many words I had on Thursday. Now Friday, my friends, Friday is where we start to have issues, okay? Because I actually, on my NaNoWriMo website, it is listed as me having 0 words on that day, so I did lose my streak that I had going for NaNoWriMo, but it's not because I wasn't writing on that day. No sir, I actually did write on that day. I wrote a couple hundred words. It wasn't much, but it was something, because I reached the end of the day, and you know, Fridays are just kind of crazy anyway, because I filmed the video, edited the video, posted the video, and then went over to my parents' house for game night. And so I just didn't really have a ton of time to be writing that day. But after we got home, even though it was like 10 o'clock, I sat down and wrote a bunch of stuff, and I actually got, I got a good couple hundred words in. I don't know how many it was. It wasn't anything crazy, but by the time that I had finished writing, I had not realized how quickly we had approached midnight. And so it turned the clock over into midnight before I had the chance to mark my words in for that day on the NaNoWriMo website. And so I tried to do so because the NaNoWriMo website actually does have a feature where you're supposed to be able to add words for the previous day or for any day of the month. You can like go in and manually say I wrote this many words on this day, and it's supposed to adjust for that, but it didn't. So it still counted the words that I said I wrote on Friday as words that I wrote on Saturday. So my Friday word count and my Saturday word count are a little bit wonky. I did write a couple hundred words. I think it was like somewhere around 400 words on Friday, but I didn't update it until after midnight had hit. So that's what you get for that. So I lost my streak on the NaNoWriMo website, which is a bummer because I was at least going to get to the 14-day streak, if not the 21 or the whole 30-day, whatever. But oh well, what can you do? So Friday, I can't give you the exact word count because I don't know what the exact word count was. It's not listed on the website, but just know that I did get words in on that day, I promise. The next day, which was Saturday, once again, is a little bit skewed because some of these words were actually coming from Friday, but the NaNoWriMo website is listed as me writing 2,472 words on that day. So there you have that. Saturday, usually I don't get a ton of words in on Saturday because I'm just hanging out enjoying my weekend, but I knew that I was approaching the end of NaNoWriMo, and I was definitely not pleased with my progress so far. I really like to be ahead of the game and not constantly catching up, but that's really what this NaNoWriMo has been about for me. So I decided to hunker down and get some writing done on Saturday, and that is how much I got done, except a little bit less than that because some of it was from Friday. Anyway, moving on to Sunday, when finally all of these things are no longer confusing. It may not be as confusing, but Sunday was not very productive either. I got 687 words on that day. Not much to say for myself as to why I couldn't get more, other than that I was just kind of feeling roadblocked and I couldn't really come up with anything, so that is what I got done. Then moving into the start of this actual week, when I just kind of broke free of whatever roadblocks were hitting me so hard, and I have pretty much consistently gotten at least 2,000 words per day since then. So starting with Monday, I got 2,705 words exactly. So that is a pretty good word count for me. I almost wanted to push myself those extra 300 words to really just get up to the 3,000 mark, but you know, who cares? I got 2,705 words. So that was pretty good for me, especially to have gotten that in only a couple of hours, because I was really struggling to write until about noon, and I wrote that big chunk of writing pretty much within the course of 3 hours, which is a trend that's been happening a lot this week. So that is what I got in on that day. Then we come to yesterday, which was Tuesday. So I usually film these videos on Tuesday because I have dance, and so I'm already in makeup, and I have a pretty steady time schedule that I need to keep, so it helps me really feel motivated to write because I have something that I need to get done by a certain time. But this Tuesday I did not have dance because it is Thanksgiving week, so the kids are off school, and I decided to just kind of let yesterday, Tuesday, be a day for me to lounge around in my pajamas, sit on my couch, and try to get as much writing done as possible. And I'm pretty glad I made that decision. I pretty much had the same thing as I did on Monday, which is where I struggled to really get writing until around 11 o'clock. There's quite a while in there that I was just kind of staring at the page and getting distracted by YouTube and getting distracted by Twitter and all of that stuff. But finally at 11, I sat down and got to writing, and I ended up pulling out, let's see exactly the number, 3,290 words. 91, gotta be specific, 91 words for yesterday. I started to feel super proud of myself. I was so happy. And then I remembered that today is Wednesday, and I'm filming this video. I'm going to be doing sprints soon. I'm going to try to get another 2,000 words today. We'll see what happens. And so I currently have 5,558 words left to write in my whole NaNoWriMo draft. And so if I write 2,000 words today, that still leaves 3,558 words to write over the course of the next few days. Thanksgiving is a day that I know I'm not going to get any words in. I might get like a paragraph just to keep my non-existent streak going, but I'm probably not going to actually write any words because I want to hang out with my family, you know? And so I don't know how many words I'm going to get in on Thursday or even on Friday. So we're going to see if I'm able to finish NaNoWriMo, because I was super proud of myself for getting over 3,000 words in one day without really meaning to, but it might be too little too late. So we'll see how many I can get in today. My goal is to obviously finish NaNoWriMo, so I'm just going to try to get at least 2,000, but ideally more than that, and then we'll try to hammer out the rest of the words over the next few days and see where we get. So with all that being said, I have a lot of words to write today. It is only 9:15 right now, so I am going to be able to get in a good chunk of sprints today, I hope, and I don't have anywhere to be at 2 o'clock, so while I hope that I am done writing 2,000 words by 2 o'clock, if I'm not, then I'm not. So we are going to just kind of take this as it goes. I'm going to head downstairs and make some coffee, and then we are going to get started on writing for today. Alright, so here we are downstairs. I am not in the office today, as you can probably see. I have been a little bit more portable with my writing since I transferred over this whole project back onto my laptop. I am going to start off with a 15-minute sprint. I usually only do like a 5-minute one just for a little warm-up, but today I'm going to go ahead and do a 15-minute warm-up just to try to get a little bit more words in than I usually do in just like 5 minutes, because usually the 5 minutes is just for me to reorient myself in the story and maybe add like a couple of words. But since I am trying to get more in today, I'm going to essentially do a 5-minute warm-up and a 10-minute sprint wrapped into one. So I will check back in with you after that, and then we will see where we're at. my mug into an actual like tumbler because it was getting too cold too quick and I didn't want to keep getting up to reheat it. Pretty happy with that first sprint. I got 227 words, I believe, which is pretty much like if I did a 5-minute warm-up and then a 10-minute sprint latched on, because I usually get somewhere between 200 and 300 words for a 10-minute sprint on average. So not too bad. As far as where I am actually writing today, like where in the story I'm writing, I am well into the third act, so there's not much that I can say without being too spoilery. Let it be known that Rowan is discovering some things and freaking out a little bit, and we are very quickly approaching the climax of the story. So really just that kind of tension buildup and buildup and buildup has been happening for this past whole week that I've been writing this third act. So that is pretty much what I've been working on for the whole past week and what I am going to be working on for the rest of today. I've been doing a ton of jigsawing over this past week. That's pretty much what this whole week has been, is just a bunch of jigsawing stuff from the third act. I start writing the build up to something and then I get inspired to write the payoff of that thing, or vice versa. So that is currently what I'm working on right now, is just a piece of build up that goes pretty much right into the climax. So that is what I'm going to be working on for the rest of today. I am going to go ahead and go full into a 25-minute sprint now, and then I will check back in with you after that. So I did move just because the light was a little bit better on the couch than it was on the love seat, so here we are. I did complete that 25-minute sprint. I will leave my word count down here. And as far as what I'm working on, pretty much all the same stuff. I've just been kind of jigsawing back in between that one chapter scene thing, and it's a lot of different things kind of coming together to a head. So this is like the revelation moment, I guess you could say. She's already gone through her darkest moment. She's already gone through all of these things, but this is like the last thing that needs to happen before she can truly kind of take up the sword and go off and do the thing. As I usually say in my plot structure explained videos, I'm going to do a 30-minute sprint now, just to add a little bit of an increment, see if I can get a little bit more words in this time, and I might try to continue doing that, like adding a little bit to each sprint. We'll see if I do that. Maybe 30 is like the pocket number for me, and I shouldn't go any longer. I don't know. But that is going to be my next sprint, and I will check back in with you after that. Alright, so that 30-minute sprint turned into more of a 20-minute sprint, if that, because mid-sprint, my army membership kit for BTS's fan club finally showed up, and I got too excited and just went through and looked at all of the things that were inside, so I kind of gave up on writing for those last 10 minutes because I was just fangirling and whatever. So I am going to do another 30-minute sprint after this. I was planning on doing like maybe a 35 or a 40, but I'm just going to do another 30 minutes and try to get that in. I did get some words in though, but it ended up being a little bit more like a 20-minute sprint than a 30. So I think I got roughly around 450 words. I'll put the actual number in here somewhere. But yeah, so that is what happened in this sprint. I honestly couldn't tell you what I was writing because now my brain is just so muddled with BTS stuff. So I am going to get back into it, and I will check back in with you after this next 30-minute sprint. Alright, so I am back from my 30-minute sprint. This one went a lot better because nobody came in the middle of it and I didn't get distracted by anything, but also because I had a pretty good writing trance going on. I don't know if that's a good way to describe it, but there are some times when you're writing, for me it is especially in very dialogue heavy scenes or in very descriptive thought scenes, like where a character is just kind of sitting out and giving you a soliloquy of what their thoughts are at the moment. I had one of those going hardcore, especially in the last 10 minutes of this sprint. I ended up getting 836 words in the past 30 minutes, which is not like a crazy amount of words, but like this is good for me, so I'm happy about this. So I am 10 words away from my 2,000 word goal for today. And I was really worried if I was going to be able to hit that with having to film these updates and all of that stuff. So for me to have hit that almost 10 words away already by, it's 12:40 right now. I was planning on having to write much later into the day in order to get those 2,000 words. So for me to already be there is really exciting. So I don't feel bad taking a bit of a break to have some lunch. And I will come back to do another, I think, 30-minute sprint. I think 30 is a good number for me. It's not too long to where I start being like, when the heck is this going to end? But also it's just long enough that I can start getting into that kind of writing zone. So I'm going to see you after that, where I will have passed my word count for the day, and then we'll see where we go from there. So I'll see you then. So I have had some lunch and I have reapplied my lipstick because she was gone by the end of that kimbap. I did another 30-minute sprint. This one did not go nearly so well, partly because since I had kind of taken a break, I was no longer in that kind of trance mode. I was watching a YouTube video and I stopped it halfway through in order to get back to my writing sprints, and in hindsight I probably should just finish the video because now I was like thinking about the video part of the time that I was writing, which is not what you want. So I did not get as many words this time. I got, 425 words that time, which does bring my grand total for today so far well past my 2,000 word goal. I think it's like 2,400 and something right now. So I think I'm going to just do one more 10-minute kind of cool down sprint to finish up the stuff that I'm currently working on, the little scene that I'm currently working on, and then I'm going to call it for today. So one more 10-minute little closing sprint, and then I will come back for one last little check-in and to sign off. So that ended up being a lot longer than a 10-minute sprint. I kind of just got in the zone again and wanted to get as many words as I possibly could before I finished up this video. So I said I was going to end at 2:30. I actually ended up ending right now, which is 2:50. So I went an extra 20 minutes. So I ended up doing another 30-minute sprint, I guess. And I got a lot more words this time, actually, which is why I wanted to explain that this was not 10 minutes. I got 685 words in this sprint, which brings my grand total for today up to exactly 3,100 words even. So very exciting. That means that I only have 2,400 something words left in NaNoWriMo. And I could not be more freaking excited. It also means that I am finally ahead for the first time in so long. And not just like on track, but I am ahead of the game, finally. And I did that on purpose, obviously, because I want to free up Thursday so that I can, or tomorrow rather, so that I can just have some time with my family. And I'm planning on finishing NaNoWriMo on Friday. I'm trying to finish a day early so that I can document that experience on Friday of me actually finishing NaNoWriMo, and post that on Friday as well. So there's going to be a bonus NaNoWriMo vlog on Friday. It's just not going to be a Wednesday writing vlog. It's going to be a Friday writing vlog. So hopefully I am able to do that. Stick around and subscribe if you want to see that. Yeah, I'm just really excited. And as far as where the actual scene is going, I'm really excited because it's just a lot of stuff coming together that has been planted in the story from the beginning. And there's even some things that, like, and this is kind of the glory of pantsing a little bit, but pantsing with a plan. And that's because I am writing some stuff that is just coming to my mind now that is making a connection with something that I wrote before that I didn't even think was going to be connected to anything. There was a scene that I wrote a long time ago that takes place in like the first half of the book, and I always had this thought in my mind that I was going to cut that scene, that it wasn't going to have any relevance. It was just some character not fluff, but it was just a little bit of character interaction, but not a ton of character development and not a ton of plot development either. So I was like, that's probably one of those scenes that's going to get cut. But now that scene is integral to the whole story. So I'm just so excited that that kind of thing happens, and that's just the really fun part of writing. And so I'm glad that I was able to do that today and document it for you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching these November writing vlogs. I do hope you guys will continue to join me in December for some more vlogs. Maybe not as perfectly consistent, but I will try. And yeah, so that is going to be it for me today. I love you guys. Thank you so much. If you like this video, then give it a like. And if you like my content, do subscribe. I make videos every Friday. And for this past month, I made videos on Wednesday as well. And I will be doing so for the foreseeable future. So without further ado, I'm going to go, and I will see you in the next one.